President Trump has indicated that he may further extend the trade truce with China when he speaks later on Friday with President Xi Jinping. The call will be the first direct engagement since June between the two leaders, and the issue of a TikTok sale should be high on the agenda. Let's bring in our chief North Asia correspondent, Stephen Engel. What's being teed up for this call?
Well, it's going to happen about 12 hours from now at 9 o'clock p.m. Hong Kong time, which is 9 a.m. East Coast time. And it's an important call, no doubt, because it not only potentially gets the two leaders agreeing on the framework agreement that was reached over the course of those high-level talks, obviously the most recent ones between Besson and He Lifeng in Madrid, but also in Geneva and in London. And that will kind of be the top agenda item on a list of very contentious trade issues and national security concerns. And just getting these two people to talk for the first time, meaningful engagement since June, is important. Now, why is TikTok moved to the top? Well, it seems like it's something that can be delivered. We still don't have all the details, though. We know that there's a consortium of what Donald Trump calls all American investors going to be buying the U.S. side of it. But is it going to be a licensing deal? Is it going to be an outright purchase? Is it going to be, what's going to happen to the algorithms? Yeah. What's going to happen to the data? I think the algorithms is probably the biggest question. Is China going to be licensing their technology to the United States but still keep ownership? Or is it going to be down below 20%? Or are they divesting completely? I mean, so many questions. The devil will be in the details. And I think Donald Trump has even alluded to the fact, well, if Xi Jinping in the call is not on board, well, we can still walk away. This deal, and I'm paraphrasing, but this deal is not necessarily done. He, however, has flip-flopped on the TikTok issue. The first term he was against it. Yeah. Now he's already claimed that, well, it helped him win the election with the younger votes. And he says this is an entity in the United States that could be worth tens of billions of dollars. I hate to see value like that thrown out the window. So he's inclined to do the deal, but there has to be the right mood on that call.
I mean, we've just showed it to the viewers, right? There's a lot of potential items in that on that agenda.
Yes.
Soybeans, for example. A lot of these things are very hard to find any resolution to. And, you know, do we get movement? Do we get a gesture? Do we get some peace offering?
Well, I think that's why the TikTok deal, if it is agreed to and goes through, you can kind of see that as a way forward for, I guess, not congenial, what's the right word I'm looking for? Just, you know, facilitating some sort of agreement between the two countries at a time when they, you know, are far apart on many issues, especially trade. Yeah, it will be a civil agreement, but with government intervention, right? To use the pun there. But again, the FT is already reporting that China has offered a bit of I guess, an olive branch by dropping this antitrust investigation into Google, which they launched, let's be honest here, they launched when the Trump administration launched the tariff regime. So, you know, and Google doesn't really have a meaningful presence on the mainland. Yes, Android is licensed to many different phone makers, so they do have an outsized presence on the mainland. But that was what that investigation was into. The FT is reporting that they're dropping that kind of, you know, an easy give for China to the United States. Soybeans is a more difficult one because that was part of the Trump administration's...
the first one.
Yeah, the first one. And China didn't follow through for various reasons. There was the spy balloon, there was COVID, there was all kinds of issues that kind of interrupted China's pledges to buy soybeans. And China since then has diversified its sourcing to Brazil and elsewhere. And this is the harvest season in the United States right now. And farmers in the Midwest are nervous because they're not getting the orders, where the order book would be filling up right now. So we're already seeing the Ag Secretary, Mr. Rollins, talking about a possible aid package to U.S. farmers to alleviate this. So I think soybeans is going to be a little bit higher up on that phone call as well. Boeing jets, that's a usual deliverable, obviously, and China needs that. They haven't bought a lot of Boeing jets in a long time because of geopolitical friction. And rare earths. We just got customs data out of China saying August, it was the biggest jump on record dating back to 2012. So rare earth products, including those magnets, are starting to move. So that could alleviate some of the tension.